everyone, what is up? So in today's video, I'm doing my November wrap-up / my December TBR. So I only read 2 books this month. I've just been really busy and I did not have a lot of time to read. So the first book I read was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the first book in the Raven Cycle Quartet. You probably have already heard about it, but if you haven't, this book, it's so complicated to summarize. Let me try. Basically, it's about this girl, and her entire life she's been told that if you kiss your true love, they will die. And so then this girl named Blue, which is the main character, Blue meets a school of fancy rich private boys named the Raven Boys, and they strike up a friendship and they go on a bunch of adventures together. And yeah, I'm only really like scratching the surface with this plot because this book is about so much more, but if you want to go and read the synopsis for it, just go on Goodreads and look it up. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and funnily, is that a word? Funnily, I think that's a word. Funnily enough, I actually tried reading this book a couple years back, right when it first came out, and I could not get past the first 40 pages because the thing about this book, the beginning, it's very, very hard to get past. That's the reason why a lot of people don't continue on with the book, because the beginning is just so hard to get through. But rereading it a second time around, I actually didn't have this problem, and I was able to get past those first couple of pages and actually get into the plot and the meat of the story. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. The second book I read this month was actually the sequel, The Dream Thieves, and I didn't like this book as much as the first one. I gave this book a 3. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I wasn't as connected to the plot, and a lot of times I felt like I was kind of taken out of the story. Sometimes I just felt like I was just reading the words and not reading what was actually happening, and I just had to go back and reread those parts. And furthermore, just because this world is very complex and unique, it's very hard to picture some of the scenes that were happening at times. I was just kind of like, what, like, how is that possible? And yeah, and that was actually quite often because this book has, I feel like, a lot more action, and it delves into a little bit more of the magic in the world than the first book, but I still enjoyed it and I still will continue on with the series. So that is it for the wrap up. As for the books I'm planning this month, this is just a loose TBR. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to all of these books this month, but hopefully I will, since I'll have the winter break and I'll have a lot more time to read and stuff. So the first book that I want to read is The 5 Stages of Andrew Brawley by Sean David Hutchinson. And I don't know a lot about this book, so I'm just going to read the back for y'all. It says, Andrew Brawley was supposed to die that night. His parents did, and so did his sister, but he survived. Now he lives in the hospital. He serves food in the cafeteria, he hangs out with the nurses, and he sleeps in a forgotten supply closet. Drew blends in to near invisibility, hiding from his past, his guilt, and those who are trying to find him. Then one night, a boy named Rusty is wheeled into the ER, burned on half his body by hateful classmates. His agony calls out to Drew like a beacon, pulling them together through all their pain and grief. In Rusty, Drew sees hope, happiness, and a future for both of them. A future outside the hospital and away from their pasts. But Drew knows life is never that simple. Death roams the hospital, searching for Drew and now Rusty. Drew lost his family, but he refuses to lose Rusty too, so he's determined to make things right. He's determined to bargain and to settle his debts once and for all. But death is not easily placated, and Drew's life will have to get worse before there is any chance for things to get better. So, yeah, this book sounds awesome. It features an LGBTQ main character. I believe him and Rusty develop some sort of romantic relationship. And another cool thing about this book is that it features 32 pages of graphic novels. For example, let me try and find one. For example, these black and white pictures. And yeah, I don't know, it just looks like a cool story. And I don't read a lot of books that have a gay main character in it, so, you know, go diversity. And then I want to continue on with the Raven Boys series with Blue Lily Lily Blue. This is the 3rd book. And yeah, and depending on when I read this book in December, if I read it early enough in December, I might pick up The Raven King before the year is over. But if I read it late in December, I'm not going to pick up The Raven King, obviously. I don't know, I don't like reading the books of a series too close together, so I might want to try and pick this up early enough so I have enough time to finish the whole series before the year is over. And then I have Golden Boy by Tara Sullivan, and this book is about a boy named Habbo who lives in Africa with his family, and he's a little bit different because he's actually an albino. The rest of his family has dark skin, dark eyes, dark hair, but he has light skin, light eyes. Yeah, he's an albino. You guys all know what an albino is. So because of this condition that he has, he's kind of shunned from the rest of his village, and so he and his family are forced to move to Mwanza. But actually in Mwanza, there is a group of poachers who hunt down albinos because they think that their body parts will give them good fortune. So now Habbo is struggling to survive and not get poached and hunted and killed, while also trying to kind of come in terms with his body, accept himself for who he is. And I just think that it's going to be a really powerful and moving story. And it's definitely going to be unlike any of the other books that I've read. The next two books I actually plan on reading in an ebook format, so I don't have it to show it up. The first one I'm already started reading, and it is I blanked out on the name. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and this is the first book in the Gracia trilogy. And the reason that I wanted to read this book this month is actually I tried reading it also, like the Rainbow Boys, a couple years ago, but I just stopped. I don't know why I stopped reading it. I liked it, but I just stopped reading it. I guess I just became disinterested. I don't know. But yeah, I started reading already. I'm enjoying it so far, and the reason I want to read it so badly is because there's so much hype surrounding Six of Crows, and I really want to read that series, but I don't want to read that before I finish reading the Gracia trilogy, because I heard there's a lot of Easter eggs in the Six of Crows from Shadow and Bone and all those books, so I want to be able to pick them up and understand what they're talking about. And I also want to read what's it called? I literally forgot the name of it. The Foxhole Court by a name that is escaping me right now. This book is really popular, especially on Twitter. I always hear people talking about this book on Twitter. So when I heard that it's free on the Kindle app, I was like, yes. So you best believe that your homegirl downloaded the Kindle app, and I'm going to download the book. This is me from the future editing this video. I looked up the book on Kindle. It's not free. Please disregard what past me has to say. Past me is an idiot that didn't check the price of the book before recording the video. And I'm really, really excited for it. So yeah, that is it. I want to read like 5 books in December. I feel like, okay, I think that I'll be able to manage it, especially since I have my winter break. I think I'm going to be able to just read a lot. But at the same time, I also am taking an online class, so who knows. Anyways, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Comment down below what books you want to read in the month of December. That is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Bye!